Kindly stand for our opening prayer. Angela, you may lead the prayer.
Almighty Father,
In Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, kindly your seat. So now, good morning, dear class.
good morning, teacher.
How are you today?
We are fine.
Great, that's good to hear. So class, who is absent for today?
No one.
Very good, no one is absent for today. So before we start our new lesson, let's recall first. So what was our topic yesterday?
Verb.
Yes, Angela.
Verb.
So what is verb?
Action word.
Very good. Verb is an action
word.
word. So, before we start, let's have a game. I call it pass the ball. So, the ball will pass to each and every one when the music is playing. When the music stops,
You need to answer the
the one
question.
who's holding the ball
Who
will answer my
the
question. Did you understand, class?
Yes.
So, are you ready, class? Are you ready, class? So, let's begin. GM, your turn. So, what is your favorite short story?
Monkey and Dolphin.
Very good. Now, let's proceed. Let's continue. Agua, your turn. So, what is your favorite short story? Very good. Let's continue. Angela, your turn. So, what is your favorite short story?
The grasshopper, the ant and the grasshopper.
Very good. So, what have you learned from the story?
Na di ka mapahayahan.
Very good.
Hindi ka magtamad.
So now, I have here a video of a short story. I want you to listen attentively because I will be asking a question after you watch the video.
Hide and seek.
The Foolish Donkey. Once upon a time, a salt seller used to carry salt bags on his donkey's back to the market every day. The donkey was not happy with this much labor. This bag is so heavy. I do not want to carry this, the donkey sighed. When the donkey was carrying the salt bag, he suddenly tumbled down the stream, and the salt bag on his back fell into the water. Ah, what's going on? Be careful, the salt seller said. Most of the salt got dissolved in water, and the salt bag became very light. It made the donkey happy. Wow! It seems that the bag is not at all heavy now, the donkey thought and walked happily. The cunning donkey decided to follow the same trick every day. Next day also, The donkey did the same thing to enjoy doing less work. I should teach that donkey a lesson, the seller said. The very next day, the salt seller replaced the salt with cotton. As usual, the donkey did the same trick again, hoping that the cotton bag would lighten up. As the cotton became wet, it got heavier and yes, very difficult to carry. Soon the donkey realized his master's trick and learned the lesson. I will not perform any such trick in the future, the donkey thought. His master was now pleased with the donkey. The moral of the story, there's no key to success except hard work.
Don't forget to like,
So,
share, and
last, how was your feeling about or after watching the video?
happy.
Very good. So, did you understand the story, class?
Yes.
Since you understand the story, so I have a question. Who are the characters in the story? Yes, Angela.
Donkey and the salt seller.
Very good. Number 2. What happened to the donkey when he passed along the stream? Agua.
It fell down.
Very good. The donkey fell down along the stream. Number 3. What does the salt seller put in the bag when he found out the trick of the donkey? GM.
Cotton.
Very good. From the story, what have you learned? Yes, Angela.
Wari ka mag-create of mag-see.
Very good. Did you find it interesting, class? Great. So, what is short story? Short story, a short story is a work of written. It has beginning, middle, and ending. Usually deals with only few characters. The example of that in the video earlier that you watched, the title, The Foolish Donkey. So, there are 5 elements of short story. Can you read, Angela?
A character is a person or sometimes an animal who takes part in the action of a short story.
Very good. Characters. Character is a person or sometimes an animal who takes part in the action of a short story. Example, in the video, the characters are the donkey and the salt seller. Who wants to read number 2? GM.
Today is the time and place that a story occurs. Authors often use descriptions of landscape, scenery, building, seasons, or weather to provide a strong sense of setting.
Setting is the time and place that a short story occurs. Authors often use descriptions of landscape, scenery, buildings, seasons, or weather to provide a strong sense of setting. Example, forest, market, or the story, the stream. In time, we use or we can use once upon a time or one day. The 3rd elements of short story. Agua.
Conflict is the factor problems that a character encounters in a story. A conflict is a struggle between two people or things in a short story.
Very good. Conflict. A conflict is a part where problems that a character encounters in a story. The conflict is a struggle between two people or things in a short story. conflict, the struggles were arrived. It is the major problem. So conflict can be external. It is the conflict with others and with nature. Conflict can be internal. It is conflict within themselves. The main character may struggle against another important character, against the forces of nature, against society, against something inside themselves or himself. The fourth elements of short story. Angela.
Theme is the meaning behind events and character action in a story. The theme is the central idea, message, or purpose in a short story. A theme can be expressed as a general statement about people or life.
Thank you. Theme is the meaning behind events and characters, actions in a story. The theme is the central idea, message, or purpose in a short story. A theme can be expressed as a general statement about people or life. A theme is a moral lesson in the story or the message in the story. The 5 elements of short story. Last, what is it? Very good, flat. Flat. So, who wants to read? Agua.
Plot is a pattern of events that develop from the interaction between characters.
So, flat, it is a pattern of events that develop from the interactions between characters. This is the series of events, characters, actions that relate to the story. So, there are 5 elements of a plot. Altogether, number 1, exposition,
Raising
action, climax, falling action, resolution. So, first, exposition. The exposition is the first or introduction of the story, the background information that the reader must have in order to understand the story. Second, the raising action. It is where all the events that take place leading up to the climax. This is where the reader is introduced to the conflict. The third one, climax. It is the most exciting part of the story, the turning point in the story. The fourth, falling action. It is the immediate reaction to the climax. All the actions that occur after the climax and before the conclusion of the story. The last, resolution. It is the conclusion of the plot. Loose ends are tied up. So, class, did you understand our topic for today, class?
Yes.
So, what are the 5 elements of short story? Yes, Angela.
Character, setting, conflict, theme, plot.
Very good. So, how about the 5 elements of plot? Give me one.
Resolution. Click,
Climax.
climax. Falling
Agua.
action.
Agua. Give me one. Very good. The raising action. GM. Give me one. Very good. Exposition. So, again, the 5 elements of short story: character, setting, conflict, theme, and plot. So, the 5 elements of plot are exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. So, for your group activity, create a graphic organizer on the elements of short story and for the elements of plot. And for your assessment, kindly get a sheet of paper to answer your
Question.
assessment. Altogether, read the direction. Identify what element is being described. I will give you 5 minutes to answer your assessment. Are you done, class?
Yes.
Kindly exchange your paper to your seatmate. So let's check your assessment. Number 1, it is the part where problems that a character encounters in the story.
Conflict.
Very good. Number 2, it is a person or sometimes an animal who takes part in the action of short story. GM.
Character.
Very good. 3, it is a pattern or events that develop from the interaction between characters.
Plot.
Very good, Agua. 4, it is the central idea, message, or purpose in a short story.
10.
Very good. 5, it is the time and place that a story occurs.
Sitting.
Very good. Who got the perfect score? Wow, all of you. Good job, class. And for your assessment, altogether, read the story
Entered the
entitled
and the brush and write the elements using graphic organizer.
Very good. Did you understand your assignment, class?
Yes.
Thank you, class. Kindly stand for our meeting prayer. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye, teacher.